Okay, I'm back again with another aquarium hacks. I'm being a little bit quieter than usual. My wife is working next door uh, on her job, but this is another hack that I wanted to share everybody. And I had to do this a little bit ahead of time. But the water in this fish tank, this 10-gallon fish tank, is 64 degrees. That's what it was at 64 degrees. I haven't been running a heater or anything like that on it. Okay, and this hack is for if you don't have a generator or if you don't have anything like that when you have a power outage. And let's say you have a power outage and your tank is getting cold and you don't have a generator, right? So this works really good if you have a gas hot water heater. And the reason I say that because a gas hot water heater doesn't run on electric. And so even if you have a power outage, you will continue to have hot water. So this is what I've done here. And I just want to show you here real quick. And this is the hack is to help to heat your tank. So what I've done is took a large peanut butter jar. This is probably about 20. Oh, let me show you here. That's probably about 20 a 20-ounce jar, maybe a little larger, but this is about a 20-ounce jar. And I filled it up with hot water. Now the hot water inside of here for my hot water heater was about 122 degrees. So we got 122 degrees, and I just put that inside of the 10-gallon fish tank that was at 64 degrees. Then I also took a couple more bottled waters. This is a soda bottle. Filled that up with water, 16 ounce. That's a water bottle. Filled it up with water. And I filled them all up at the same time. Then I put them inside of the fish tank to heat it. Now let's just see what the temperature is now. Remember, it was at 64 is what I got. Now let's see what it is. Let's take it off of this. Take it off of hold. Okay. Let's see what it is here. So let's see how much it brings the temperature up. And this has been on here for about 12 or 13 minutes. We're looking at 68 degrees. Well, looky here. It's got it up to 69 degrees. 69.2, 69.3, 69 and a half, 69.6, 69.7, 69.9. We'll call it at 70 degrees. So from 64 degrees, right? From 64 degrees to 70 degrees, 70.7 actually. So from, we just say 64 degrees. So it brought it up 60. So it brought it up. So it brought it up 6 degrees, 6 whole degrees that it brought it up. So that's one way to heat your tank without, if you have a gas hot water heater, filling up bottled waters. And what's so wonderful about this will last for several hours, because what this will do is just continue to emanate heat, continue to do that. So when the temperature finally drops below, let's say if you got a tank that's 80 degrees and you heat this up to like 86 degrees, and it drops below 80 degrees, let's say it gets down to 79, 78 degrees, just take your water bottles back out, fill them back up with hot water, and just redo it again. Now, let's say if you got a Planet tank, right? Well, this is what I bought at Walmart. These run off of micro USBs, just like you plug your phone up with. And so you can already have these pre-charged up. Or better yet, in an emergency, always have you a small battery backup. This charges up cell phones, tablets, and stuff like that. And it will do the same thing for these lights. It will charge up your lights as well. And these are really bright lights. So you can get them as bright or as dim as you want to get them. But let's say you got a Planet tank, so you want those really bright. So you put that on top of there. Now you got some light, you see, inside your aquarium. And I've got 2 of them here. I've got actually several of these, just in case. So now you got light inside your fish tank. And now you're like, okay, so now I've got heat and now I've got light. My electricity's out. Now what do I need? Well, you're gonna have to invest in you a battery operated air pump, or you can get one from Aquarium Co-op that also runs off the same kind of micro USB that these lights here run off of. And so you can get one like that. But this is a battery operated one, and you can now have air inside of your aquarium. Just to show you this real fast. So now what do you have? You have air, heat, and light. That's going to keep your fish alive. Now I'm going to turn that off because that's quite loud. Okay. Now you got air, heat, and lights. Okay, perfect. Now, how do you continue with your filter? Well, you're going to either have to take some old filter media from your filter and make you a little inside filter with these bottles. And there's many YouTube people who have done that. It's very easy to make. Cut it in half, put it down, you know, and it's just very easy to make. I encourage you to watch those videos on how to make an aquarium filter for an emergency situation. But better yet, I've always advertised, always say, have a sponge filter on your intake of your filter, whether it's a canister or hang on the back or whatever kind of pump. Because if you got that sponge filter on that intake, that pre-filter, all you got to do is take that sponge off, put this air pump there in the middle, and let it run. Now what do you have? You have a filter that will filter out nitrites and ammonia in your tank. So keep your tank filtered. So what about, just real quick, if you don't have a gas hot water heater, you got an electric hot water heater. Well, are you going to use your barbecue grill when it comes to your electric being out to cook on? Well, take you a pot of water and get it to a boil, and you can do the same thing. Pour the water inside these bottles, close the lid tight, and let them float in there, and they will last for several hours to keep your tank heated. And so, how long do these lights last on full blast? I've noticed that these type of lights last about 8 hours on full blast. When they get low, or when the juice runs out, just take your charger and continue to let them run. And then this on battery, I noticed this will last up to about 12 to 13 hours on battery operated, which is wonderful. So if your batteries ever go out on this, just have you some spare batteries, and you can go for another 12, 13, maybe even 14 hours on this as you're putting air and filtration in your aquarium. So this is a wonderful hack if you don't have a generator, or if you have a generator but you can't use it for your fish aquarium room. Now, if you have several tanks, you're going to have to invest in more lights, more air pumps, and of course this is your cheapest investment, and it will be in just soda bottles or peanut butter jars, plastic jars. That'll be your cheapest investment. And so this hack will work really great for a power outage. Trust me, folks, this will get your fish through. This will get them. This will keep them warm. This will keep them safe. If you have goldfish, you're in better hands. Goldfish can withstand a temperature even down to 50, maybe even into the 40s. But if you have tropical fish, you're going to have some kind of backup for these guys. And even for goldfish, you're still going to have a backup, especially in supplying goldfish with air, because they really need a lot of air. And so always have some backup supplies on hand. And this is just a cheap hack in order to keep your tank from going cold in the wintertime. And so this is Aquarium Hacks by Marcus. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you learned something from it that you can take just in case you get a power outage. Okay, happy fishing.